Hey guys, so we're trying out a new one today. We're playing Astrea's Broken Heart. It's recommended by a couple of people. And I had heard about it a little bit. So I'm curious to see how it goes. So let's see. So seeking work, you join an organization chasing the supernatural. There, you're tested by strange work and colleagues. This wondrous place, however, does not need believers. Okay. Don't know what that means, but okay. Tags are supernatural and thriller. On the path of faith, your character is open-minded, you're direct, honest, and open to compromise. Okay. Well, we know the usual, and it's hard typing. I have a freaking band-aid. I just cut my finger. Oh my gosh. Once again, choose our appearance, choose the body type, we go for the cuffs. Hello. Okay. Let's see how we go. Vibing with this one. Okay, we're gonna go with this. I keep noticing there's someone in the window over there every time the lightning flashes. That's creepy, but you know what? We're fine. Okay. She's cute. We're going. Basically, I just got everything. So why not? You change our outfit and hairstyle by selecting the wardrobe. Yep, we know the thing. Set your preferences. Okay, so this is the new thing that they're doing. We go all in. Okay. Oh! Interesting. I prefer romantic scenes to be explicit and detailed or subtle and less explicit. Huh. Okay. I want to say subtle and less explicit only because the other ones is awkward for me to read it out loud. But you know. Okay. Oh no. Set your preferences for hints. Hints enables icons will appear next to your choices. Choices that affect a romantic relationship is marked with a heart icon. We'll disable them for now. If I'm really struggling, then we'll come back. But for now, we'll disable them. Your preferences have been saved. They cannot be changed when the story begins. Yeah, I know. I have to start over. Are you ready to continue? We go. Okay. What is happening? It's like we're starting with the gallery. Okay, he's pretty cool. Okay. We love an instrument. Sure. That was something. Episode 1, a new start. Warning, the story will contain occasional scenes of violence and murder. Please read on with caution. And now for the latest news. The infamous Goodlim Psychiatric Clinic has reopened its doors. As you may recall, a patient was brutally attacked by his attending physician within its walls. A patient was attacked by his physician. The judge's lenient sentence led to outrage in the local community. A month after this terrible event, the victim is still in a coma. We tried to contact his attacker, but unfortunately, her current location remains unknown. Excuse me, could you turn off the radio? Was that me? The driver obediently complied, but the blissful silence was short-lived. I'm sure she's already fled the country. If I didn't want to hear about it, that means I don't want to talk about it. It's like, take a hint. She almost killed a man, and they only took away her license and gave her a fine. How is that fair? How do you even know what happened? God, you won't shut up, will you? So that was me. Okay. Seriously? I doubt that the whole story is out there. Of course it isn't fair. For all we know, she's beating another patient with a paperweight as we speak. The driver nodded meaningfully, looking at her in the rearview mirror. That's why I don't go to therapist. That's not a good reason. So you hear about one psycho on the news and you decide that you don't need help? Okay. I don't want to end up with a messed up shrink like that. See, this is the kind of thinking I can't. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. You're gonna let one bad example keep you from getting help that you might need. It's crazy to me. Okay, let me just keep going. If you only knew that messed up shrink from the news is sitting right behind you. I thought it was her. As the silence went on, her mind returned to her personal nightmare. Melody kept her eyes on her patient, feeling for the phone. A perfectly healthy guy experiencing the loss of a loved one had suddenly started showing signs of acute psychosis. Admit it, doctor. You come into my dreams every night on purpose, don't you? Do you like it when I hurt you? I can see that you do. Melody made an effort to speak calmly and slowly, concerned that he might move from words to actions. We should call a nurse into this office and talk this through. No. The beast is already on your doorstep. Can't you hear it breathing? It has come for you. He jumped out of his chair, throwing coffee table against the wall as if it weighed nothing, and attacked the psychiatrist. His fingers closed around her neck with so much force that a scream of horror remained trapped in her throat. The choice you make now will change the course of the story. Need to make changes? Yes. If I don't do something right now, he'll kill me. Scream for help. Well, it's already wrapped around your throat. You couldn't get a scream out, so I doubt screaming for help will help here. Defend yourself with a paperweight or defend yourself with a letter opener. Slicing is good, but a good bludgeoning, one good conk, you could do a really good amount of damage. So we can go with paperweight. While groping for the phone that had slipped from her hands, Melody's fingers landed on a falling paperweight. She immediately hit the patient with it. Blood ran down his face in a thin stream, but he didn't seem to even notice. You were able to defend yourself. This will affect the plot. There's no time left. It's already here. How do you feel now, Melody? So, she got attacked, and yet it's all over in the news that she was the one who just randomly attacked her patient? I thought there were often like recordings of sessions. I know it's not all the times they were recorded. I guess not all of them do that. Cause I know there's like patient confidentiality and stuff like that. But I feel like I guess not all of them do record sessions. That's dangerous. There has to be some things in place to protect psychiatrists in the situation, though. I feel like there should normally be some more precautions taken where it wouldn't generally come to this, like in real life, but we'll just go with it for the story. We're here, miss. The gruff voice pulled Melody out of her memories. She picked up her small travel bag and stepped out of the car. After paying the driver, she approached the mansion. However bad Astrea Detective Agency's reputation might be, hers was now decidedly worse. Just to be sure, Melody took another look at the newspaper clipping with the listing. This was the right place. Okay, here goes nothing. But she didn't get the chance to ring the bell. The door burst open, almost knocking her off her feet. A young man appeared in the doorway. Who are you? Melody, psychologist. I called about the opening for a psychological evaluator. A psychologist, huh? He looked her up and down, his gaze sharp. You probably talked to Mikhail. He should have saved you the time and told you right then that we need someone serious. Do you interview all your applicants on the doorstep? Maybe you could begin by introducing yourself? I don't see the point. I'm sure you'll be gone by the time I get back. Never mind. He's not interesting. I don't like him. Our work is difficult. It's not just shuffling papers around all day. Sometimes you'll have to stand up for yourself. And deciding I can't off of appearance is crazy. Is crazy. The pool of blood on the floor flashed before her eyes. Well, it's up to you. Yeah, I know. Thanks. Bye. Second door to the right, the boss's office. Second door to the right, boss's office. He's running late. You'll wait for him there. Without waiting for an answer, he hurried down the steps and walked away. Melody went deeper into the house. Never mind. I was interested. Just crossed him off my list. Goodbye. Sitting in a leather chair, Melody thought about her current situation. Like, this being rude and you know what? I'm over it. I'm fine. How did I get to this point? I'm trading a prestigious clinic for this shady agency. Melody? A pleasant male voice roused her from the oppressive thoughts. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. My name is Mikhail. Mikhail? We'll go with that. We spoke on the phone. I'm the director of this agency. Hello? Mikhail held out his hand, and Melody, struggling to suppress the nervous trembling that overcame her, shook it. His strong, friendly handshake reassured her a little. Good afternoon, Mikhail. He slowly walked over to his desk and looked at her closely, as if trying to read her thoughts. To be honest, your resume impressed me. Won't you get bored with a place like this? Do you not know my situation? That's very generous. Not at all. You used to work as a psychiatrist, but we only need someone to conduct psychological evaluations. Your qualifications far surpass our needs. So much so that you're prepared to reject me? I'm just curious. What brings you to us? The fact that I've been stripped of my medical license, leaving my career in shambles? Do you not need a license to work here? Some choices increase faith or skepticism. In the path of faith, Melody will be open-minded. She's direct, honest, and open to compromise. Meanwhile, a skeptic expects an ordinary life free of miracles. She's cunning, sarcastic, and always stands her ground. What do we want to do? Direct and honest, open to compromise, cunning, sarcastic, and always stands her ground. Oh boy. Okay. The tagline was like, this place doesn't need believers. So I feel like it would be very the path of faith would be pretty hard. So I don't know which one I want to go with. How about for now, we do a little bit of both and then we see how we feel about it. I'll tell them the truth. I believe that change will be good for me. That sounds like faith. This is how things turned out. I haven't stopped being passionate about my job just because I'm no longer working as a psychiatrist. You don't really believe that though. Is that really faith? Didn't she say she would be honest? Well, I guess maybe that's what she honestly believes then. Although it seemed like that she didn't. Let's go with this for now. Those who need help will receive it, one way or another. My clients don't always realize they even need it. Mikhail's thin, graceful fingers tapped the desk lightly. It'll be foolish of me to talk you out of this job. But still, I must ask, do you know exactly what it is that we do here? You chase ghosts in your own shadows. How rude. If my former colleagues are to be believed, anyway. You study the nature of unusual psychological states? How delicate. Mikhail grinned, and for a moment Melody feared she had voiced her thoughts aloud. Studying the human mind will be your task. Ours is finding traces of the supernatural. She found it hard to believe this seemingly normal man was serious. All this is some kind of test. Experience of this kind may not make a great addition to your resume. I don't believe in the supernatural. All of your clients are still patients. That's true. I don't recall ever having a skeptic come to us. Mikhail raised an eyebrow and looked at his guest as if for the first time. His gaze lingered on her eyes with open curiosity. Countless tiny goosebumps prickled her skin. The coldness in his light gray eyes seemed to envelop her entire body. Unable to bear the stretching silence, Melody finally broke it. I hope that won't be a problem? No, not at all. Impartiality is just what we need. Mikhail tore his gaze away from her, and his face once again took on an impassive expression. Tomorrow you will accompany David, our lawyer. His client claims he's sharing his home with a demon. I think this case will help both of us reach a decision on further cooperation. Mikhail's attention shifted to her travel bag. Tell me, where are you staying? Nowhere yet, but I think I'll find a hotel nearby. That would not be necessary. All the agency's employees live in this house. If that doesn't bother you, we will find a suitable room for you. If everyone in the house is as rude as the first guy I met, perhaps it would be better to rent a room elsewhere. As if reading her thoughts, Mikhail added, in any case, I won't rush you. You can rest in the guest room for the night, and we will discuss everything in the evening tomorrow. I'll call your new associate. He'll show you around. Mikhail pressed a button on the phone. David, come here, please. Is he the one I'll be handling tomorrow's case with? That's right. By the way, I think you'll be interested in reviewing the details of the client's case. Just a minute, I'll find it. Mikhail took out a stack of thin folders. Realizing that the interview of sorts was over, Melody allowed herself to relax. Some choices can improve your relationship with other characters. I wonder how things work here. Yes, go ahead and observe. Oh. Already. Oh. I'm having a hard time pressing buttons with this freaking Band-Aid. Mikhail slowly sorted through the documents while she watched his fluid movements. His fingers, so graceful, barely touching the paper with a quiet rustle, hypnotic and soothing. But her curious gaze slid higher to his sharp collarbone, almost completely hidden beneath his shirt. She took in his toned figure. All of his clothes fit so well that she felt self-conscious. I'm glad I paid attention to how I dressed. I don't look any worse than Mikhail. Melody stole a glance at his face. It's like he stepped straight out of an old master's canvas. He was a picture of Renaissance beauty, fair skin, well-balanced features. His hair lay as if he had just walked out of a salon. Not a single strand out of place. How does he pull that off? Mikhail's fingers suddenly stopped, and Melody was horrified to realize she had been caught. How long did he know I was staring? Is something wrong? Some options can only be purchased with diamonds. With me, definitely. Oh, interesting. It's an interesting little menu here. Okay. Struck with conversation. There's something in your hair. Compliment his appearance and say that you're tired. There's nothing in his hair? Oh, but... What am I trying to do? Touch his hair? Go for it. Sorry, I can't ignore it when I know it's a loose thread on my clothes. or anything like that. Mikhail looked at her quizzically. Here, let me help. Melody rose from her chair and reached out to him. Barely touching him, she ran her fingertip along a strand. His hair is so soft. She quickly pulled her hand back, avoiding his eyes as she did. There, it's gone. It was some kind of feather. Was there actually something in his hair? God, what am I saying? How would he get a feather in his hair? Oh, so there was no feather. Just making it up. But now I'm starting to wonder, because generally in the story says supernatural thriller. So, like, of the people that I'm meeting, are they even human? What if he does have feathers? Trying not to look flustered, Melody returned to her chair. However, she could feel her cheeks burning. Thank you. It was difficult to tell from Mikhail's slight grin whether he believed her or not. Still have things to talk about. Okay, I guess I'll keep going then. Attempting to change the topic, Melody blurted out the first thing that came to mind. I wanted to ask, do you often have encounters with the supernatural? In response, Mikhail lifted an impressive pile of folders. Constantly. And you are the only one with the skills to prove that these are simply the imaginings of troubled minds. I hope your agency won't close down from my help. It won't. Don't worry. He really seems to believe in all this. In which case he's taking all my jabs in stride. You don't lose your temper easily. Would you like it if I did? A playful spark seemed to flash in the icy depths of his eyes for just a moment. That's not what I meant. So things to talk about. Minutes appearance. It's not often you meet young people who dress so formally. It's a bit unusual. We all try to maintain this style while working. Most of the time you'll be expected to dress accordingly. But in your free time, of course, you can wear whatever you please. Though I am always open to discussion. I don't see any problem with it. He tossed the folder aside and looked down at the next one. He shrugged his shoulders and seemed to relax a little in his chair. These unhurried motions pulled the fabric of his suit jacket tight over his prominent muscles. Is this what it meant when we're talking about, like, explicit in details? We're just... How long is she gonna spend staring at him? God. He's very fit for someone in his position. Chasing ghosts got you into this shape? Melody ended up staring, falling into the same trap again. She was greeted by Mikhail's laughing eyes. Okay, well, at least our relationship improved. We've done everything, so let's just say that I'm tired. Sorry, today was a rough day. I understand. No apology necessary. I should mind where I'm looking and keep my hands to myself. God, where the hell is this David? Mikhail handed over the folder he'd finally found. You think we're just a bunch of eccentrics chasing ghosts? But that's not the case. I don't... She felt a sudden need to justify herself, but Mikhail interrupted. Don't worry, you'll change your mind. You'll see. Not wanting to argue, Melody opened the folder. The title page bore the emblem of the local police force. These are police documents, aren't they? Yes. Perhaps you will get the chance to meet our correspondent there. Melody raised an eyebrow in surprise. She knew detectives from such agencies often worked for the police, but she had never seen it to be the other way around. What kind of agencies does the police report to them? Quick steps came from the corridor. Well, where's my best partner yet? A tall guy with burning eyes stormed into the room. David, meet Melody. I've never been so glad to make someone's acquaintance. Instead of shaking hands, David gently pressed his lips to the back of her hand. I'll be waiting for you in my office tomorrow evening. I hope your answer will be a yes. David was already standing at the open door. Well, of course you'll say yes. We're going to have such a good time at this demon house, no doubt about it. Melody nodded a goodbye to Mikhail and slipped out of his office. Interesting. Well, he's upbeat. Grinning, David led her deeper into the house along a long, gloomy corridor. Who are the people in there? Looks like a very old photograph. Well, it's not a photograph, it's a portrait painting. Interesting. Getting to know a house should start with its heart, the fireplace. He pushed open the tall oak doors with both hands and stood aside, letting her enter first. That is a plush rug. They've done well for themselves here. And getting to know its inhabitant should start with me. I hope Mikhail's stuffy manners haven't spoiled your first impression. No, that would be the guy at the door. David led her past the burning fireplace. He stopped behind the wide bar. Actually, my first impression wasn't of Mikhail. I ran into some guy at the front door. Thank you. Ah, my sympathies. That was Cassio. Perhaps the worst possible option. Yeah, cool name though, too. Oh boy. What did he tell you? Nothing much, just hinted that your job is dangerous. Well, frankly speaking, it's his job to protect us from any threats. But don't be afraid. I won't let anything hurt you. Sure, buddy. David smiled radiantly and turned to a rack with all kinds of alcohol. Thanks, but I can take care of myself. Perhaps not against the type of threats that they have to deal with, but it's assuming that someone can't is still very rude. The guy turned sharply and stared at her with curiosity. Is that so? Has that been necessary? The patient who attacked me ended up with a scar. David whistled and smiled approvingly. We'll have to tell Cassio to watch his tongue. Or not, and he'll finally learn some manners. Plus reputation. Oh, because I was able to defend myself. Okay. Sorry, someone's driving by like booming their freaking thing. First of all, it's Wednesday night, and it's almost 11. Turn the volume down, okay? People have kids around here. Anyway, 2 glasses clinked against the bar. Care to join me? He's talkative. I think I'll be able to get to know him better. Yeah. Certainly. Alright. Oh, interesting. It like changes as he smokes. He's breathing a bit. Oh, that's interesting. How'd they do that? I think this is a great day for whiskey. And if you feel brave enough, I'll make you my signature cocktail. Ice cubes tapped against the walls of a glass. My colleagues rarely visit this part of the house. I hope the pervasive gloom won't get to you. David pushed a drink across the bar with a wolfish gleam in his eyes. Enjoy. The amber liquid pleasantly burned her throat. So, what brings you here, Melody? Are you looking for answers to uncomfortable questions? Have you encountered something you can't explain? Melody took another sip, grimacing. You should have put skeptics need not apply in the listing to avoid misunderstandings. David let out a quiet, short laugh. I see. Then let's talk about something else. Ask me anything, Melody, and I will answer honestly. Anything, he says. Ask him to talk about himself, ask for a signature cocktail, ask him about his work, get back to work. We'll start with the most expensive one first. Why not? They're back again? They're driving? Maybe they'll just drive on by? Little shaking motion. Oh, Slime. I think I'm ready to try your signature cocktail. Congratulations! I hereby grant you title of Best Colleague. David reached for her empty glass. Before Melody could move her hand away, his fingers brushed hers. A light, effortless touch. She felt a ripple of warmth, either from the alcohol or that momentary contact. His skin is so hot. He's a demon. David set out several bottles in front of her. With mock seriousness, he began measuring out their contents in a shaker. He winked roguishly, tossed the metal cylinder into the air, and caught it. He makes everything look effortless. As he opened the shaker, a splash landed on David's clothes. Oh crap. The tiny spots were barely noticeable, but Melody acted instinctively. She took a napkin from the counter and reached out, but David gently caught her hand. So eager to help me. It's charming. But I can handle it. Still holding her hand, David looked deep into her eyes. Why have I suddenly become so clumsy? Is this your doing, sly little witch? Melody smiled and gently pulled her hand away. I don't believe in witches. Okay, we've already noted that you're a skeptic. Okay, you don't need to double down. Whatever you say. David poured his signature drink into a glass and offered it to her. Delicious. More time. Anything he says? Alright, well, let's talk about yourself, buddy. The different poses. I can't. It's hilarious. Can you tell me a little about yourself? And which part of my rich biography interests you? David let his elbows rest on the bar as if settling in for a long story. I'd like to learn more about who I'll be walking into a demon's lair with tomorrow. Are you afraid of demons? Oh, he's a demon. Well, I'll have nothing to fear with you around, right? You catch on quickly. From now on, I'll be your shield not only on the battlefield, but also in this house. Even in the courtroom, if you'd like. So, if one of our clients ever decides to sue you, I'll make sure everything works out. My throat tightened from a sudden spike of adrenaline. Uh-oh. That spiked a bit of her personal drama. Too bad I had a lousy lawyer. Why did she have a lousy lawyer, though? Could she not? Surely she could afford a good one. Given she said she came from a prestigious place, right? I'm only basing that off of what she said. I don't know how much psychiatrists make, though. David sensed a sudden change of mood and wiped a smile off his face. Did he? Hey, I'm serious. We're all good guys here. Cassio included, although I understand that may be hard for you to believe right now. He's a bit judgmental. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person. He's a bit judgmental. He's a bit judgy for my taste, that's all. She tried to compose herself, but had to force a smile. David caught her gaze, and Melody could feel his sincerity when he spoke. When you decide to stay, Melody, you'll see what I mean. Okay. And about his work. This is so unusual. How many cases have you lost? Of all the questions you could have asked, that's your pick? Melody, take a closer look at me. Oh, they said he was a lawyer, right? As though to help with this, David leaned across the bar. He looked genuinely indignant, but his mocking eyes gave him away. He was so close that Melody could sense a woody aroma, a bitter scent blending in with the one of whiskey. He whispered very softly, but Melody caught every sound. I never lose. And I always get everything I want. Straightening up, David finished his whiskey in one gulp as though celebrating a courtroom victory. Okay. I feel like I could end up chatting with you into the morning. Always thinking about the job. Commendable. In that case, I won't place any further demands on your attention. Let's go get you the best room. Mikhail said something about a guest room. David took the empty glasses away and beckoned her to follow. Leave the guest room for the guest. He led her along the already familiar corridor. Our bedrooms are on the first floor. After climbing the ornate staircase, Melody felt a sense of deja vu. The furniture was the same as on the ground floor. So, you have several options to choose from. Melody looked behind the door. I'll go with this one. Honestly, though, I think I like the look of the master bedroom a little bit better, if I'm being honest, but that's okay. My favorite. Our superiors used to occupy this room. You should take it before they come back. What superiors? And where'd they go? I wouldn't want to inconvenience anyone. That's only because you don't know them. This one's good. Great. Make yourself comfortable, Melody. I'll check back in the evening. With a wink goodbye, David closed the door. When she was alone, Melody wondered if it was even worth unpacking her bag. However, she could unpack and repack the whole thing in less than 30 minutes. I probably look like I ran away from home. Although, perhaps it's true. Unsure of what to do with herself, Melody went to the window. I find it hard to believe that no one knows about what happened. No one here knows about what happened. I guess they have other stuff to deal with? I don't know. An overgrown Gothic garden. Well, surely somebody's gonna look into it. An overgrown Gothic garden perfectly complemented the mansion's oppressive atmosphere. Surely all this belonged to some earl or a viscount. Patches of white caught her eye among the dense branches, glimpses of statues hidden by the foliage. It's silly to just sit in this room all evening. I'll go for a walk in the garden, and probably stumble upon somebody new. Melody opened the door and listened. A silence beckoned her, and Melody slipped out into the corridor, quiet as a mouse. I hope I won't get lost. Oh, we can see more of the painting here. Interesting. So about 4 guys in there. I wonder if any of them will pop up. I wonder if one of them is the superiors. From somewhere in the distance, the faint, wistful cry of a violin suddenly pricked her ears. An irresistible urge drove Melody towards the sound. The sensual melody led her to a door, slightly ajar, that opened into a spacious room. Trying not to reveal her presence, Melody held her breath. Someone was standing by the window with his back to the door. This is one of the lighter rooms in the house. The bow sliced through the air, flexing as it slid across the strings. And the longer Melody stood behind this glorious creature, the more she felt that she was trespassing on something sacred and intimate. She attempted a silent retreat back into the corridor, but the door creaked treacherously, alerting the room's occupant to the intrusion. The Melody shrieked to a halt, and he whirled to face her. I love how I shrieked to a halt, as in my character Melody, and then the melody of the music also shrieked to a halt, so it's like double meaning there. Anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Caught, Melody went closer. It's alright. Sometimes I'm so absorbed in the music that other sounds don't reach me. He hastily put down the instrument and offered his hand. My name is Raphael, and you must be our new evaluator, Melody. Nice to meet you, Raphael. David promised to introduce us at dinner, but I'm glad to meet you now. Are you a lawyer too? I'm an appraiser. I deal with objects rather than people. So, you assess their value? Their mystical value. Seeing the skepticism on his guest's face, Raphael hastily changed the topic. Were you looking for someone, Melody, or were you just exploring the house? I was heading to the garden. It's visible from my bedroom window. Oh, it's a magical place. But don't wander too far. The garden is very old, and all the structures in it are quite dilapidated. Well, I won't keep distracting you. You can stay if you like. This is the sitting room, not my bedroom. It's a shared space. Sure. Alright. It seemed that Raphael only offered to be polite, but something in his eyes made her stay, as though some kind of unspeakable melancholy was trapped within them, and the violin tried to express the same feeling with its heart-rending melody. Since I'm staying, I should say something. Share your dream of learning an instrument. I've always dreamed of learning to play an instrument, but studying and work always took up all my time. Which instrument would you choose? Along with curiosity, there was an offer in the question. Melody shrugged helplessly. I'm afraid I'm not cut out for such delicate arts. Raphael smiled softly and offered his open palm. May I? Melody laid her hands onto it as her breathing slowed and her thoughts scattered. Her icy fingers touched his soft, cool skin. These were the hands of a musician, untouched by hard work, delicate, gentle, and tender. The hands say a lot about a person. You have graceful wrists, perfect curvature. Your fingers are like a work of art. I'm sure you could master any instrument, but I would recommend the piano. What do you say? Raphael, as carefully as he set down the violin, released her hand. He casually stroked her knuckles with his thumb, and a gentle smile appeared on his face. And though he clearly wasn't trying to coax her into anything other than music lessons, Melody blushed. Thanks, Raphael. I'll think about it. He wouldn't mind chatting with you more. Alright then. Go ahead and finish the song. I'm sorry that I interrupted you. The melody was charming. Please continue. It seemed Raphael had been waiting for this request. As soon as he held the violin again, all embarrassment disappeared from his face. The enchanting melody returned, and Melody felt a long-forgotten sense of peace. The bow became an extension of his confident hand. The notes filling the room displaced time, and when Raphael gently lowered the violin, Melody was surprised to find that it was getting dark outside. Playing for someone is an incomparable pleasure. He bowed and reluctantly returned the instrument to its stand. Thank you, that was incredible. Since I'm staying, and praise his ability. These pictures make me laugh. You play beautifully. Did you study somewhere? I'm self-taught. Wow, learning the violin on your own must be difficult. I can play every instrument in the sitting room. It suddenly occurred to Melody that the sitting room had the quality of a creative studio. Her eye caught on the luxurious grand piano she'd somehow overlooked. There was a double bass, a guitar, and other instruments she didn't recognize. Even a lifetime couldn't be enough to master all these instruments. Unless someone doesn't work at all. Or they have more than a lifetime. Vampire. A little embarrassed, Raphael looked away. I'm a fast learner. Okay. And I think that's everything. I should go, but it was very nice meeting you. Of course. See you later, Melody. Melody froze for a moment, expecting to hear the violin again, but there was silence behind the door. As though lost in thought, Raphael was in no hurry to resume playing. These guys are so unusual, just like their line of work. Trying not to make a sound, Melody continued on her way. The paintings hanging on the walls of the corridor caught her eye. They've been catching my eye this whole time. And one Melody saw men dressed in Victorian-style clothing. They must be the original owners of the estate. Melody went closer to better see the aristocrats' faces, which were barely visible in the darkness. Dotting her own eyes, she leaned in until her nose almost touched the canvas. The painting depicted the mansion's current occupants. Oh! Wait, okay. That's Mikhail. Potentially Cassiel? You know what, let me just click. It might just show it in the next picture. What in the world? Maybe they fancy themselves aristocrats? Maybe this one back here is David. That one's Raphael. Maybe vice versa. I can't tell those two apart. I mean, they look different. I just can't tell which one, because based off of how they look now. Maybe this one's Raphael. This one's David. So they're all immortal. To me, that says they're the same people. I think they're the same. Or they dress like this for work? Forgetting about Raphael, Melody trudged on until she finally reached the garden. At one point, its opulent design had probably set it apart, stimulating the imagination of guests. But as time passed and its dominion went unchallenged, nature modestly hid everything away beneath a verdant shroud. Small wonder all the structures are run down. Fascinated by her mysterious surroundings, Melody slowly moved deeper into the garden. If it weren't for the angel blocking her way, she felt she could have walked the overgrown path endlessly. The statue. The majestic, moss-covered statue seemed to be warning her against going farther, and Melody obediently stopped. She sat down on a marble bench, intended for prayer, and began to think. She thought about a topic she avoided categorically, God, and his role in her parents' lives. Wake up, sleepyhead. It's time for us to go to Sunday service. The girl whined, diving headlong under the blanket. It's my only day off. Why can't I sleep in? Isn't God everywhere? I feel so bad. I have a lot of homework. The first one is so funny, though. It's so funny. Okay. At this point, how do we feel about being a skeptic in this environment versus having faith? I don't know. I think, well, since we started on since we started on skeptic here, we'll continue on skeptic on this one. And then on second save file, I'll do faith and see which one I like better. We'll probably play it through the season, and then maybe in season 2, I'll just choose a side or something like that. Or maybe I'll just continue both, because I probably want to romance more than one person. I don't know who particularly has my interest just yet. So we'll see. Okay. This one's kind of funny though. But I feel like that's like faith though, isn't it? Let's just go with I have a lot of homework. Maybe it would be better if I stayed here to study? You're so responsible, dear. You can study as soon as the service ends. Your father is a pastor and we're his flock. You must not forget this, my girl. I thought we were his family. We are all children of one big family, dear. Get up. Don't make me call your father away from his work. Melody peeked out from her hiding place with a glum look of resignation. She couldn't hide from her father, no more than from God, under a blanket. She knew that much for certain. I'll find a better hiding spot next time. She's so cute. Interesting. So we're gonna have some scenes of her in the past. So I'm wondering how her life played out that is gonna compare to what's going on here. An owl hooted nearby, hinting that it was time for the guests to leave. Shivering, she stood up and hurried back inside. I don't like that music. That means mischief is happening. A familiar silence filled the mansion, as though all its inhabitants had fallen asleep, or they had hidden away in their bedrooms to watch her from the windows. I'm becoming paranoid. I mean, you did survive an attack. I mean, I think it's normal to having a bit of, a PTSD from it, Melody shook off the strange thought and walked a little faster towards the ornate staircase. All the doors were closed but for one, which cast a sliver of light out into the corridor. Trying to sneak past unnoticed, Melody walked on the balls of her feet. But when the warm glow fell on her face, curiosity took over. Melody froze, not daring to breathe, and turned towards the light. The gap was no thicker than a finger, but it was enough to see whose bedroom it was. Cassia was hunched over her desk. Keep walking. Keep moving. Taking some form of pleasure in the pain, he slowly wrapped his arm. Taking some form of pleasure in the pain? What? It was not the first layer. A crisp white bandage coiled around his muscular shoulder. It snaked lower, tracing every contour. It doesn't seem half bad when he's busy and not speaking his mind. Melody found herself smiling, but she suddenly recoiled in horror, retreating into the shadows. Blood appeared on the fabric, slowly staining the bandage bright red. Melody backed towards the wall. Don't bang against it. She heard David's words in her head. It's his job to protect us from any threats. What is he protecting them from? And did these really come from defending rather than attacking? Pulling herself together, Melody returned to her room. Don't be too quick to judge the situation. Remember, you were just judged, and they were wrong about it. So, just saying, give a little bit of benefit of the doubt here. There was a tray with dinner on the bedside table, but she had no appetite whatsoever. Melody quietly closed the door and looked around for the key to the lock, but couldn't find it. Tomorrow asked David to solve this problem. After changing into her only nightgown, Melody went to bed. An endless, eventful day rewarded her with a headache and overwhelming fatigue. Therefore, when her mobile phone rang from the bottom of her bag, her first thought was just to ignore it. But a few seconds later, it rang again. Who could need me this late? I hope it's my lawyer with good news. Well, we already heard they're incompetent, so not likely. Late night calls are never good. That's also true. Did someone give those nosy journalists my number? Maybe my old boss has come to his senses. These two kind of sound like Faith-ish. Loud car out there. I think this one is safe to say it's skeptic, so yeah. I hope no one has died, at least. Looking at the screen, Melody sighed with relief. It was just her university friend. Is it true? Hello to you too, Ruth. Please tell me your colleagues were joking about you going to work for Astrea. They're out of their minds. Do you even know what they do? Ruth, please. My head is pounding. I'll tell you everything the next time we see each other. I promise. Just tell me you're okay. I'm fine. Really. Sometimes the fork in the plot, the path you take depends on whether you accumulate more faith or skepticism. Okay, let's see. Whatever the reputation, I don't have any other options without my license. And there's no need to worry so much. I haven't decided yet whether I'm staying here or not. Path of faith. And my new colleagues are not out of their minds at all. A little strange, yes, but I have a good feeling. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just so strange to hear you're involved with people who believe in completely ridiculous things. Maybe it's for the best, though. Maybe they'll help you come back to the church. How? Exactly? That's not gonna happen. Sorry, I'm really tired. Just don't disappear, okay? I won't, I promise. Silencing her phone and setting it aside, Melody brought the blanket up over her head just like she had as a child. But what happened that she's so against it now? Like, was it just like her parents being overbearing with it in that matter that she kind of like lost her faith? And then, or like, it's interesting if you were on the path of faith, right? Then what would it be like if you just found a different faith or something like that? Or interesting. It kind of makes more sense for her to be a skeptic right now, kind of given, you know, her own story. I don't know. Or maybe it's just that that's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. I can also see Path of Faith now, though I'm not thinking about it. It's just kind of more open-minded. Some religions can tend to be pretty strict and narrow on kind of this is what we believe and everything else is kind of not, you know. So if you're more of an open-minded person, then maybe, you know, you're like, well, I kind of believe that, you know, this can also be, I don't know. So I don't know. That's interesting. I have to see where they go with that. Pleasant darkness enveloped her, offering salvation and protection from the outside world. Exhausted, Melody curled up and sank into its embrace. Melody followed the voice. It led her along the mansion's gloomy corridor to a battered oak door. I thought we were asleep. Am I dreaming? Melody couldn't bring herself to open it, but she knew exactly where it led. Is that paint or blood? A place smelling of damp, sweat, and blood. The basement. Please, help me. Melody bit the inside of her cheek until it hurt, holding back a scream. She took a step back. Don't go. Please, don't go. The soft, protective darkness became oppressive. Melody felt like she was suffocating. I beg you, help me, please. The scream was interrupted by a searing bright light. Melody sat up, throwing off the heavy blanket. The nightmare lingered on her skin in the form of sticky sweat. Wake up, sleepyhead! Melody blinked, not immediately realizing what was happening. Bright sunlight flooded the room, and in front of her, smiling widely, stood David. Still reeling from the dream, it took her a moment to cover herself with a sweat-soaked blanket. Well, partner, are you ready to start our first case? I'm like, do I look like I'm ready? Oh, no. Absolutely not. Okay. Okay. I definitely have a load of questions, but that's a good thing. That means I'm interested to see where things go. So I'm very curious about this. So curious to see how things play out. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna play this again tomorrow. So yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna try. Well, how late is it? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to get this one out tonight, and then I'll probably post another one tomorrow because I'm really interested in the story. And then after that, I'm gonna post an episode of Legend of the Willow because I'm excited to get back to that. But anyway, I'm intrigued. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and try to like button, some love, subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Bye.